the study committee was one of the most congenial, respectful groups of people from disparate interests working together. They all came there with good intentions and goodwill. They had certainly disagreements, the environmentalists and the bankers and the realtors.
A key thing was using this advisory committee to build consensus that this package, as a package, was going to make a difference.
When we first heard about that, we thought, this is nuts. You're going to give responsibility for cleaning up, for investigating and cleaning up sites to the very people who caused the sites in the first place. And you're going to license their consultants to do this work for you.
We talked a lot about suspending disbelief.
The very fact that we did it was amazing. And the very fact that I was able to work with these very young people at the time, 20 years ago, many of them still with DEP, who were given free rein to just create and brainstorm and do stuff that never had been done in environmental circles before, and sit down with a blank page, create it, think it, sell it, go to public meetings, convince.
As we got to know the environmental professionals and the environmental attorneys, for the most part, we finally began to realize that they really were concerned about what was going on and what needed to be addressed. And we started to work sort of hand in hand with them.
This was, as you might guess, a rare occurrence in the experience of anybody in the legislature to have one of the leading environmental advocacy groups and the Banking Association agreeing on something like this.
They all kind of put their prejudices, hung them up at the door when they walked in, and really got down and rolled up their sleeve and said, we have a real problem, we have to fix this. And we have to do it together because we're going to need to have everybody go to the legislature and say this is what we want.
Basically, the legislation went through as a single package, which was not tampered with along the way, because there was such strong effort to get all the parties to buy into it. And unfortunately, if you pulled out one thread from that fabric, the whole piece might have fallen apart.
I mean, everybody was united by the fact that it wasn't working for them.
Everybody had to give up a little bit in that. Some people wanted things that other people didn't want. Sometimes there were differences of opinion even amongst the private sector about the banks may have wanted more of a certification process from DEP initially than the engineers thought should happen.
And we convinced them that this process with these licensed parties could provide them with the certainty and the protection that indeed they were safe. And to this day, it has been quite successful.